Peace and power, comrades. Babu Omawale of the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, and today we're going to do a review on the Canik TP9 DA. DA meaning double action, baby. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is the Canik TP9 DA double action. So let's go ahead and show you the weapon that it is clear. You know, some of these safety nuts out here are going to be critiquing everything we do in our video, and we're going to be comparing that to the Glock 19, which is almost a standard around the country, man. Just can never go wrong with this weapon, the Glock 19. Okay, the TP9DA, man. The first thing that you want to know about this weapon is that what the DA stands for. So let's go ahead and let the slide go forward. The DA stands for double action. And what that means is when you pull the trigger, you're going to get a very long trigger pull until you hear the click and the weapon fires. There it is. Almost like you have a hammer and you haven't cocked the hammer. Okay. But every round after that is going to be a very short and snappy trigger pull. So the double action actually only takes place on the first trigger pull after you have locked and loaded the weapon. I want you to see another unusual feature, something that we don't see too much. If you can see on the top of the slide, the little black thing right here, that is what you call a decocker. Once you fire this weapon, it goes from double action to single action, and after you're done firing it, a lot of people like to put the gun back on double action to get the very long trigger pull again. And what that does, it kinds of takes away from accidents and things of that nature from happening. The TP9DA has our Warren tactical sights. And the thing about Warren is they're a very good company when it comes to making sights. They're one of the top companies in the industry. So what Canik did is they took a less expensive gun and they outfitted it with some of the best parts that are available. With the trigger, I'm not sure who the trigger is made by, but they have an outstanding trigger. And I would even go to say that the trigger is a better trigger than the standard Glock 19 trigger. Much better to say. I think they also go, another thing is they have a high manufactured magazine. They don't make anything cheap when it comes to this weapon. I forgot exactly who produces this magazine, but they're a outstanding and well-known magazine carrier. So what Canik did, which was very smart, they took a lesser expensive weapon and they outfitted it something with, you know, some of the best parts that are made in the industry. And what I can say about this gun, man, it's accurate. Okay. It's a very accurate gun with those Warren sights. Some people don't like the decocker on the top, but I mean, if you don't like it, it's just like never touch it, never use it. And after that first round goes down range, this goes from double action into single action mode. That decocker is just there in case you want to go back to the double action mode. Say you're going to holster your weapon and maybe you're concerned about firing off a round. When you go back to that double action, it makes it almost impossible to fire that round off because of the long trigger pull. And of course, we all know about the Glock 19. Let's go ahead and check it and verify that it's clear. Glock 19 really needs no introduction. I took both of these guns. They're both dirty, by the way. And the reason for that is because I took both of them to the gun range just yesterday, and I kind of had a little contest against each other. You know, if Glock comes with the standard sights which are piss poor from the factory. So I took those off and I outfitted these with some True Glow night sights. As far as the accuracy goes, both weapons were very compatible. I mean, the TP9 is a little longer gun. The Glock 19 is more of a compact. But man, I was hitting at 15 yards. I was hitting within a 4-inch pattern with both guns. You know, which is pretty good. A 4-inch spread on a 15-yard target is not too bad, and I can use a little work with both of them. But for the money, I believe I paid maybe $560 plus tax for the Glock 19, which is also going to be my everyday carry. I'm not going to switch it out for the Canik because it's a lot smaller and it's a lot easier for me to conceal. And the accuracy with these True Glow sights is really outstanding. So I'll still be carrying this. But for someone who is interested in going out and buying their first gun and you're not sure what it is that you want to get, for the money, pound for pound, this is probably one of the best weapons that you'll be able to get. The TP9 series. Now they have the TP9 SA, which is single action, and they have the TP9 SFX. And a lot of people buy those for competition, man. They come out of the box competition ready. So again, Canik or Janik, they're making some very good products at a very low price. I probably paid maybe $350 for this. This is what it's going for on the market right now. If you go to the gun store, you can get this gun for under $350. I've sent about 500 rounds down range in this pistol, and it's never had a hiccup. It's never jammed one time. So an outstanding gun. I have to give the Turkish manufacturers their props on bringing this gun forward, because sometimes you can get caught up in price. I would take this gun over a Ruger. I would take this gun over a Smith & Wesson. There's just so many. I would take this gun over a Beretta. You know, this gun, the trigger on this gun is so outstanding. Combined with the Warren tactical sights and the high capacity magazine, which holds 18 rounds. And you can also get a standard 20 round magazine for this. It's just outstanding with the combination of the trigger, the sights, and the capacity of the gun. So, and we also, man, we do these gun reviews. Let me turn this around. We do these gun reviews not just so you can be knowledgeable of buying guns. Of course, we want you to know what it is that you're going to go out there and purchase before you purchase it. But we endorse our people being gun owners for a lot of reasons. And one of the reasons is because you see the influx of white supremacy around this country. We've just had the shooting in El Paso, which targeted blacks and Latinos. The man drove from Allen, Texas to El Paso, which is over a 10-hour drive, okay, to intentionally kill people. And then we had the incident in Dayton, Ohio, where this man goes to a club that's frequented by black people and people of color. These white supremacists are getting bold, and we have to have the ability to defend ourselves. So that's another reason for these gun reviews, man, not just to give you a review of a weapon, but to give you a review so you can go out and purchase something to defend your family. In the event of these attacks, I wish that we had a universal carry. I can't think of what I'm trying to say right now. Constitutional carry. I'm sorry for the brain lapse. Okay, I wish we had constitutional carry, because that prevents us from having to get a license. We already go through a federal background check, and there should be no need for a state to tax us on an extra license, because the feds have already went through the precautions to make sure we were eligible to have a gun in the first place. Now the state is taxing us to say that we can or we cannot carry a gun in a certain place, even though the federal government has already given us the permission to be a gun owner. So constitutional carry would do away with the state. All right, you're already going through a screening process. You're already paying taxes on the gun. There should be no other license and regulations. And let me end with saying this. Had there been constitutional carry here in Texas, Greg Abbott, who is the governor now, had there been constitutional carry, and I'm sure that bill went across your desk, the patrons at Walmart would have had a lot higher percentage of defending themselves, because a lot more people would have had the ability to carry their weapons on them instead of leaving them in the car. Okay? When people have the ability to defend themselves, criminals like this white boy who drove from Allen, Texas to El Paso think twice about committing these crimes, because they're going to get shot and killed and not arrested by a police department. And we want to say how ironic it is that a black man can sell loose cigarettes or bottled water or CDs and you murder him. Well, it's not ironic, because we already know what it is in America. But that these white supremacists who have white supremacist ties, these white identity extremists, you take them into custody alive. And you have been known to take them to get hamburgers. Donald Trump, what kind of America are you running, man? You know, we know where we at, though. We've been dealing with these same atrocities for over 400 years in this country. And now it's time for the black man and the black woman to stand up and have the ability to defend yourselves. If you're over 18 years old, the federal government says you can't own a shotgun or a rifle. If you're over 21, you can purchase a pistol. Let's get it done. Arm yourself or harm yourself. Peace and power, Babu Omawali of the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. Black Power.